Hey guys, I am here today with Faith Jaudon. She is the owner of the Vintage Bee Farm, and we're going to be looking today at what does it take to become a beekeeper, but also what was going on in Faith's life to help her make this decision to become a beekeeper. So Faith, tell us, how did you get involved in beekeeping in the first place?
That's an easy answer. God put it in my heart. I was working at the high school subbing in a classroom when we had a very small swarm of honeybees come into the room. And of course the children went hysteria. And I later left the room to go to the office to get some lunch when my coworker put her hand in her sandwich bag and got stung by a honeybee. That same day I came home, turned on the 6 o'clock news, and there was a swarm of honeybees. And that night I told my husband, I said, you know, I really feel like the Lord's trying to get our attention. I think we're supposed to do this beekeeping thing. And he went to work, mentioned it to a couple of his coworkers, and sure enough, that very week, a woman that he works with had a swarm of bees land in her front yard in a tree, and she asked Dwayne if he wanted to get them, and of course he did, and that's how we got started in 2007.
Faith, it's obvious that you know a lot about bees. If somebody wanted to start out having their own hive, how do you even get started?
Well, for me, I developed a relationship with a local beekeeper. So mentorship is vitally important. So I would say find someone that you can trust and develop that relationship with them, someone that you can pick up the phone real quick and give them a call if you open up your hive and you see that half of your bees are gone. So developing that relationship with a mentor is vitally important. Secondly, if you're wanting to go a little bit further, more away from the hobbyist into a commercial or having your own business, then of course education is key. For myself and my husband, we went to Young Harris and participated in a program that was University of Georgia sponsored, and we became certified as beekeepers. So that is always a plus. There's magazines and books and all sorts of resources out there. Make sure that it is, trustworthy as well. And then there's nothing that teaches us any greater lessons than the hands-on learning, actually diving into the hive. And we always suggest that you get 2 hives. Don't just start with 1. Get 2, because it's kind of like when you have children. You have just 1 child, you can't really compare, them to the other child. And so with 2 hives, you learn more with that second hive because you can actually compare. So we encourage, if you want to start, whether as a hobbyist or maybe take this to the next level, start with 2 hives. You'll learn more.
Faith, you seem so passionate about beekeeping. Why do you love it so much?
I love beekeeping because I see the handiwork of God. I see His majesty. Beekeeping is very intricate, detailed oriented, and I get to see that firsthand. And I love beekeeping because I get to share my faith. It is a platform of ministry for me. I love God, so I love to share my faith with others, and this is a wonderful venue to do so. I love it because it's fun. Besides everything else, it's fun.
Faith, I think everybody could relate to the challenges of being stung by a bee. But what are some of the other challenges that you face as a beekeeper?
One of the greatest lessons God ever taught me was that neglect equals loss and sometimes death. In beekeeping, you have to be willing to invest time. If you neglect to invest that time, you're going to lose those bees. They're going to swarm, or they could become sick and die. It's just like our soul. It's just like our spirit. We have to nurture it. We have to take time to feed it. We have to take time to manage it. So I would say hive maintenance, management, making that commitment and keeping that commitment and spending that time that the bees need and the time that the beekeeper needs to build that trust with that hive is imperative.
So Faith, dream out loud for a minute. Like, where do you see this going in the future?
Well, back in 2007, when the Lord put it in our hearts to become beekeepers, it kind of reminds me of the scripture, don't despise humble beginnings. It was a very humbling experience. We had a wonderful product. We had the knowledge, the passion, but we didn't have the jars to put the honey in. And so I just asked some friends of mine who had small children if I could have their baby food jars, and I would actually use those on a roadside stand to sell our honey. So we started, in a very humble state, and we have evolved and grown over time. Our vision for this company or farm is that we can be a hub. We can be a resource for people that are interested in beekeeping, and there are lots of people out there interested in beekeeping. We want to be their mentors. We want to give them a venue to have birthday parties, a venue to come bring their family and visit the farm. And my husband's a truck driver 6 days a week, and I want to get him home. I want him out of that truck here doing something that he loves. So our vision is huge, and we're just waiting for God's perfect timing.